Groundhog Day. Here we are again.
Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, I think, yeah, looks like we're good. We'll let everyone kind of trickle in.
It's still very fun to think, Alfredo, right? Before you weren't even here, right? So the fact that we are where we are now is yeah, it's always very gratifying.
I mean, the cool part too is even seeing kind of how the students created this space even before we kind of had like staffing, like proper staff, like student run. You kind of forget how amazing they are, what they
Yeah.
come up with, right?
Well, all the labs have kind of evolved the same way by just having some funded positions. It really has helped, along with you. It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's what we needed. So
Well, it's 6:16 and we are kicking off our live stream. So we are now live. And we have our interns rolling in. And so while we have guests waiting to come in, I want to also thank everyone for coming and also for watching. My name is Alfredo Alcantar, and I serve as the LTI Lab manager. And today we're going to be talking about, or our topic today is the third in the series that we've been doing. And so this is called Inside the Lab. We're going to look at our progress, the projects that we're doing, and what we are kind of looking to do into the future. The first two live streams that we did with our interns was first kind of introducing the lab, and then the second one was kind of introducing everyone to the technology that we're kind of playing with to learn and to kind of bring to library programming. And also to bring in hand into the hands of folks who don't have access to them through community outreach and such. So today is kind of seeing like where we've been and what we've done, and we kind of want to showcase the things that we're really proud of. Before we go into our presentations, I kind of want to show you our team. So these are our current LTI VR lab interns who have put a lot of work, as much as all their interns throughout the program, in building the projects that you're going to see and building out programming for libraries and getting hands-on with technology. So I won't go through full names, but I'll shout them out because I'm really proud of this team. So I want to thank Erica, Jasmina, Araceli, Atsiri, Miles, Eddie, Homera, Selinka. Thank you so much for like kind of the work you've been doing on the projects this semester. And I want to continue the love and passing it on to Dr. Chow, who's here with us today too. He's a director of the School of Information, and kind of the lab wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So I'd like to kind of pass it off to him and let him kind of share his vision on what the lab is and kind of where we go from there. So let me pass it off to you, Dr. Chow.
well, thank you, Alfredo.
Excuse me, I forgot to mention Kelly Roush. Kelly Roush, she's actually on this line too. She is our VR project manager and soon to be a graduate of the program. So, Kelly,
Thank you, Alfredo.
thanks. Now back to you, Dr. Chow.
Yes, and I just wanted to maybe go to the next slide, Alfredo. But I would want to thank Alfredo in particular for his leadership, his vision, his passion. It's contagious, and I also want to thank all of the students. Prior to going live, we were all just reflecting on how far we've come in 4 short years. So welcome to our Library Technology Integration Lab. Essentially, my startup package when I first became director was used to purchase the initial technology. And then Alfredo and the students and Kelly and student coordinators all came and look what we've developed together. So I'm very proud of all of you. And that's a good segue into what we are all about. So really, we are a mission-driven space for innovation, digital literacy, and experiential learning. And that starts with all of what we've said and all that you're going to hear and see later today. First and foremost, the technology. We are Silicon Valley School of Information, so that comes with the expectation that we are pushing the envelope of using technology, exploring how it increases access, organization, and really experiences with information, and we're doing just that. So I'm sure the students will share with you the things that they've learned. Experiential learning, in particular, is very effective because obviously learning how to do things hands-on really sticks with you and can be replicable when you move off into the other into their careers. Last thing I would say is digital literacy is so important. It really is aligned to what the School of Information at San Jose State is all about, which is equity of access, and again, pushing the envelope in terms of experiences and how we organize and process information. So again, welcome to the LTI Lab, welcome to the presentation, and I'll turn it back over to the team.
Thanks, Dr. Chow. So I want to kind of share what's new in the lab physically, and the kind of few of the little things that we've been doing here. So first, we have two new additions to our lab, which is our new robots. So we have Rosie and Sam Jose, which were named by our students. And Rosie is also referred to as Pepper, is our humanoid robot, and it has been used for interactive demos when we have visiting students to the lab. We've taken her out to community engagement events at libraries. She's been a super hit. I keep saying she. It has been a super hit. And it's also cut the ribbon at the last CLA conference. We're also using Pepper we're also using Rosie as a learning tool too. So our interns are programming Rosie to kind of create engagements and experiences for the users when we take Rosie out on the road or when folks visit us here at the lab. The next thing we have is Sam Jose, which is an LG Chloe guidebot. And that guidebot roams through Clark Hall on our office floor. And it's has a multiple number of features. One of them is our docent feature, which kind of will kind of docent you and guide you through our floor. We'll take you to offices when you ask for, where is Clark 17? But amongst other things, it's also another tool that we're using with our lab to kind of figure out how we can kind of create tools to train students and teach students on programming these robots. So again, these are new tools to us, but they're a wealth of kind of opportunities. We've yet to tap kind of what they really can do. In the spirit of collaboration, we're working with departments on campus to kind of the engineering department to help us with Rosie to kind of see what we can do to tap into the mechanics behind the robot to let it be more than just kind of a tool where you can it waves at you. So those are exciting things. Another thing that we've been working on, and we mentioned in our last live stream, is we are working with, and again, in the spirit of collaboration, our strategic partner, which is Living Pop-Ups, and we worked with them. They are an augmented reality book company that brings books to life using their augmented reality app. So we worked with them to create one for ourselves, and we'll share that later at the end of the presentation. And you can scan the QR code and get and play and try the app yourself. But we were wondering, we've had the app experience in real life environments. We also had seen it in the books, but we wanted to kind of bring the two characters and bring them to life and see kind of how we can do what else we can do with this, right? So think outside the box. We wanted to use them for our social media. We wanted to use them for collateral, but then we thought we can make our brochures interactive. So here is an example of Jen and Claire popping up using the app on one of our current.
Almost there. Come on, Jen. Almost. Almost there. And we're here.
Where exactly?
The SJSU School of Information Campus.
At the end, like I said, download that app and check it out. And the last thing that I kind of want to show, last but not least, right, is our shiniest of objects. It's our Silver Anthem Award. You're going to hear about the projects that helped us acquire and win one of these awards. The Anthem Awards was launched by, if you're familiar or have ever heard of the Webby Awards, the anthems celebrate outstanding social impact work across the globe, and so they shine spotlights on individuals and organizations that drive for positive change. And you'll see kind of the work that we were doing with web-based VR a little later, but it is a nice addition to a physical addition to our lab, a shiny Anthem Award. Now, I want to pass it on to Erica Nalu, who is our LTI intern coordinator. She had recorded her piece because she's rooting on her kids at their tournament championship. So hopefully they win their tournament. So let me pass it off to Erica. And here we go. Thanks, Erica.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica Nalu. I'm the current student intern coordinator for the LTI Lab. And some of the fun things that the LTI Lab has to offer is that we don't just work within the lab in at the San Jose State location. We also work throughout the community. And so some of the ways that we do this is through hosting public events and interactive demos at libraries all over the Bay Area. We've gone and visited we take our tech to these locations and we allow the patrons to come and have access to these headsets and these robots and drones and our AR books and let them see that they can try any of these things out. And there's no cost to it. This is completely free, just hosted through the libraries. It's been a great way to have help the community get access to these resources. Some of the other things we've done is partnering with libraries and organizations for educational projects. And so this has been through some of the educational things we've done where we've had groups come through the lab where they've used the technology for their class assignments or learning about how this can be used in a real world situation. And so that's been a really great way that we've been helping not only our university students, but also students from high schools and other universities, and also organizations who are trying to train their employees on how to use this tech and give them some access to this technology. We've also had our interns are also collaborators and facilitators themselves, and so they will come through and lead workshops and interactive exhibits with all the different emerging tech. We have interns that go to the conferences like CLA and ALA, and WLA, which we've had one of our interns right now just went to that one recently, and they lead the hands-on demos and they share this all this tech and our research and everything that we've been doing with others within those conferences and other organizations. So that's been a really fun way that we are helping to get all this stuff that's in the lab to others outside of the lab. We have also been finding ways with that has been helping advance our mission. So part of the LTI Lab's mission is leveraging innovative technologies and libraries to foster creativity, leadership, and engagement. And we support libraries in bridging the digital divide and enhancing community connections through technology. So this has been something that's very important to us in our mission, is making sure that we give the community access to this technology, while also encouraging that creativity and giving them full reins to use this tech in the way that's going to benefit them the most. We've had some of our recent projects, including the XR Voices, which you'll hear about later in this meeting, and other interactive demos with robots, Rosie and Sam Jose, which those names were named by the students, that was a fun way of getting the students involved with the robots. We also have other XR technology that all continue to reflect our mission to push the boundaries of emerging technologies. And these projects have enabled students to experiment with cutting edge tools like virtual reality and robotics while driving creative solutions to real world challenges. So this has been um, one way that we are fulfilling our mission. We also, at the LTI Lab, we are also deeply committed to ensuring that all students, especially those from underrepresented communities, have access to our resources and opportunities. I can speak from my own experience as a first generation college student I will be graduating with my master's this year. Having access to this technology, I never thought this would be possible. And that's something that we want to make sure that not only for the students like myself, but also for those in the community who see those things that they never think that they're going to have access to that. And so we provide that. And the joy that comes with seeing people having fun and trying these things. And I've gone to multiple events where I've had parents who've had their children try out this technology, and they've come up and said, thank you so much for this, because my child has never we can't afford to give my child a VR headset, and I really want my child to try that out. And they were like, this was such a fun experience. And I've had a lot of parents that are like, this is so awesome, like we're so happy with what you guys are doing. So that's always a great feeling of knowing that we are helping others have access to these things, and then providing the training and mentorship that make these high tech tools and emerging technologies accessible. And so that's one of the ways that we've been pushing our mission to enhance the community connections, because we do see that, yeah, SJC students, majority of the student body are people of color. And like I said, as a student myself who is a part of that group, I have seen complete changes, I mean, like complete differences in what this university has offered me, in comparison to other places I've studied before. We've also had our partnerships also further our mission of equitable resource sharing, helping increase access to innovative technology for all. Um, and so that's kind of where we're going with our XR Voices, is another way that we are pushing that community connections and helping others in underrepresented communities be able to have a voice. And so that's one of the fun and awesome things about the LTI Lab, is that this isn't just about tech. This is about some much more than that. We are taking this into the real world and helping to bring out voices of people who don't always have access to this technology to share their voice. So I'll turn this over now to Kelly, who can talk about that.
All right. I'm going to give everybody an overview.
I'm the current student intern
Oh,
coordinator for the LTI Lab. And some of the fun things.
awesome. Okay, so I'm going to give you a brief overview of XR Voices. I am the LTI Lab's virtual reality producer and the project lead of these three projects we will be discussing, and some of the most compelling and impactful work of my life. XR Voices, virtual oases for inclusive cultural exchange and sanctuary. It leverages web-based virtual reality to create immersive interactive communities that preserve intangible heritage and amplify voices. The project has two primary goals: supporting underrepresented communities and preserving their cultural knowledge, and training both these communities and SJSU students in emerging XR technologies. I'd like to briefly introduce our three flagship projects that make up the XR Voices, which our LTI Lab interns will explore in more detail later. Seeking Immortality, it's on the top of the slide. We partnered with the Northern Cheyenne tribe to preserve their endangered language and cultural heritage in a browser-based VR environment. And I'll talk more about browser-based VR environments in a moment. Children Draw War Not Flowers is a 3D art exhibition created with Ukrainian children and librarians that help process war-related trauma while raising global awareness of the conflict and its impact on the Ukrainian people and cultural heritage institutions. And it did do what we set out for it to do. It garnered a lot of media attention, considering, and it's one of our most visited projects. Freedom to read, it combats book bans by creating a virtual space where challenged and banned books remain accessible to all, especially youth in affected communities, which is quite compelling. A teen can get access to a book that has been banned in their community in an instant across the nation. So, why did we choose web-based VR for these important projects? Alfredo, do you want to change that slide? Web-based VR transforms ordinary websites into immersive 3D spaces that you can explore through any browser using headsets, smartphones, or computers and laptops. There's no special downloads that are required. This technology perfectly supports our mission by democratizing access to information. Anyone with internet can access instantly and explore these environments using devices they already own. This accessibility helps us preserve endangered heritage, provides spatial context that flat archives cannot, and it breaks down geographic barriers to cultural knowledge. And you'll hear more about this from our interns. Through this approach, the Northern Cheyenne tribe maintains data sovereignty while preserving their culture. Ukrainian children's wartime experiences have reached global audiences, and communities facing book bans gain virtual sanctuaries where diverse voices remain accessible. Web-based VR doesn't just archive information, it creates emotional connections to cultural heritage. The impact of these projects extends beyond the virtual realm, as Erica was talking about. It fosters real-world partnerships, it bridges generational gaps, and it's making a tangible difference in preserving cultural heritage and promoting intellectual freedom. I'll turn it over to the LTI Lab interns now, who will share with you their poster presentations for this year's ALA conference, and they will explore each project in depth. Miles and Selinka.
Hi, I'm Selinka Crepes, and along with Miles Cunningham, we worked on the poster for Seeking Immortality. Created in partnership with the Northern Cheyenne Tribe, Seeking Immortality is a browser-based virtual reality environment designed to preserve endangered cultural knowledge. The immersive environment showcases the tribe's land, language, and lifeways, addressing the challenges of geographic dispersion and a declining number of Cheyenne language speakers. Seeking Immortality's mission is to combine traditional archival processes with state-of-the-art technology to create an immersive, media-rich space, providing multiple generations an experience to see, hear, and interact with cultural traditions, language, and land despite the user's geography. Seeking Immortality seeks to address the urgent community-identified priority to preserve the Northern Cheyenne tribe's language, as well as their history and contemporary lifeways. Only 4,600 of the enrolled 12,000 tribal members reside on the reservation, and less than 300 of native Northern Cheyenne speakers remain. This project is connected to the Reading Nation Waterfall Initiative, and partner organizations include Chief Dull-Knife College, San Jose State University School of Information, and XR Libraries. The project's mission is to preserve Northern Cheyenne language and culture through a virtual reality archive and experience. It advances two key objectives: to support the Northern Cheyenne to build their capacity and expertise using state-of-the-art hardware and software to preserve the Cheyenne language and cultural traditions, and to establish a protocol to preserve and share the Cheyenne language and cultural traditions, Cheyenne cultural heritage, belongings, crafts, and Cheyenne ceremonials for posterity. Inside the VR space, visitors are welcomed by Lenora Wolfname, framing the experience as a gift both from and for the Northern Cheyenne people. Users are invited to see, hear, and connect with Northern Cheyenne culture no matter where they're visiting from. It was important for the Northern Cheyenne people to present the space through the land and to use the land as the knowledge it is shared through. At the center of the experience is a richly detailed replica of the Kenneth Beartusk Memorial Powwow Grounds, a ceremonial gathering place near Lame Deer, Montana. The VR space features 3D scanned cultural objects, oral histories and video messages, traditional music and songs, elements of the Cheyenne language, including recordings of word pronunciation, and a 360-degree image of the surrounding landscape.
So the LTI Lab partnered with the Northern Cheyenne tribe to create this. The lab provided some of the technology and supported community members in using it. And this technology includes things like video production, 3D scanning of significant objects, creating the images used to represent the land, and digital curation tools, as well as the VR environment. One thing that impressed me about this project is how intentional all of the decisions were. From the very beginning, the Northern Cheyenne directed the vision, the content, and the direction. Everything was thoroughly thought through. For example, the user experience or the information stewardship practices, which draw on both archival and information management background, as well as the knowledge practices of the Northern Cheyenne. So the tribe led the creation of this environment, and it was a priority to make sure that it reflects their values, their practices, their protocols. All of the ownership and decision-making remains with the tribe, which will help them sustain and protect this heritage. And the result of all of this is this living, evolving record. The Northern Cheyenne now have this community-directed platform for stewarding their language, their culture, and their stories into the future. It not only expands access for tribal members, especially those who may live far away, but it also invites respectful and guided engagement for the wider public. All of the content shared within the VR space was chosen by the community, and it reflects what they have chosen to share publicly. So not only has this created a platform for the Northern Cheyenne tribe, but it's designed to be replicable as well. It's a model for action, and it's also a digital toolkit, which can be adapted for use by other tribes. But here as well, the framework is flexible. It's not prescriptive, not a template. It can be done in a way that meets the unique needs of other communities as well. Overall, the Seeking Immortality projects demonstrates how digital spaces like virtual reality can be used as tools for storytelling, for sovereignty, and for connection between generations. With that, I'll pass it along to the next project.
Hello, everyone. My name is Homeira, and Eddie and I are excited to present our poster to you today as part of our group project. So on February 24th, 2022, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. As cities came under attack, families fled their home. The Cherkasy region in central Ukraine welcomed over 225,000 displaced people, including more than 42,000 children. To support these children, public libraries in Cherkasy offered art therapy. In September 2022, they launched Children Draw War, Not Flowers, a drawing competition that gave displaced kids a way to process their trauma through creativity. The project was initiated by Dr. Yulia Gozart, a native of Cherkasy and assistant professor at San Jose State University. With the support of Dr. Anthony Chow, director of the School of Information at San Jose State University, they helped fund the competition, award prizes, and provide the Cherkasy Library with a high-resolution book scanner and digital storage to preserve both the children's drawing and the region's cultural heritage. Their leadership made it possible to transform these artworks into a global immersive 3D exhibition, one that amplifies the voices of Ukrainian children, helps them heal through creativity, and honors the critical role of libraries as safe havens in times of crisis. The exhibition has several goals. First, it brings attention to the emotional stories children are telling through their drawings. Second, it creates a global platform where people can connect with these stories. Third, it raises awareness about the impact of war on children's mental health. It also honors Ukrainian libraries that stayed open and served as safe havens during the war. And finally, it helps preserve Ukrainian culture, which is also under threat. Children Draw War, Not Flowers is a project of memory, healing, and hope, showing that even in crisis, children's voices and art can speak volumes. Now I'll pass it over to Eddie, and thank you.
Thank you, Homera. Hello, everyone. I'll be talking a little bit about the design of the VR space, its impact, and the response it's received. The exhibit is a browser-based VR experience, as people have talked about, and it allows visitors to explore a powerful 3D environment featuring artworks by Ukrainian children, which were ages from 4 to 16 years, reflecting the realities of war through imagery. Their artwork depicts war, such as images of tanks, guns, fire, and loss, but also of sunflowers, angels, resilience, and hope. These are eyewitness accounts rendered by children who have lived through the war. The layout of the exhibit is in the shape of a trident, which is the national symbol of Ukraine. There are 4 separate galleries organized by theme. Gallery 1 contains images depicting themes of anguish. Gallery 2 depicts images of hope. Gallery 3, images of conflict. And Gallery 4 contains films of the war, which show frontline videos documenting the ongoing ravages of the war. Throughout the war, libraries have served as shelters and sanctuaries, as Homera mentioned, with librarians defending history on the front lines as cultural sites are being targeted. The exhibit also highlights the destruction of these libraries, underscoring their vulnerability. A collaboration between San Jose State University and the Ukrainian Library Association has preserved over 450 children's drawings, amplifying their voices and affirming libraries' vital roles as humanitarian and cultural centers. These drawings serve as a form of art therapy, helping children process the trauma of war. The project gives them a platform to share their stories and experiences through art. And by creating this virtual exhibit, their voices and their artwork reach far beyond borders. The exhibition has received media attention from universities, local news outlets, and library networks. We've also been grateful to receive many book donations. In addition to the virtual exhibit, there is a physical version that's been showcased at other universities, and it is now traveling across the US. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eddie. Next, we'll hear about freedom to read.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jasmina Isordia.
My name's Atsiri Ruiz.
And my name is Araceli Argueta.
And today we're going to be talking about XR voices and the freedom to read. Book banning poses a serious threat to intellectual freedom, limiting access to diverse perspectives and silencing voices that challenge dominant narratives. It often targets books that deal with race and gender, sexuality, and history, topics essential for fostering critical thinking and empathy. Supporting libraries during times of increased book bans is crucial, as libraries serve as safe spaces for learning, inclusion, and the free exchange of ideas. By defending libraries and the freedom to read, we uphold democratic values and ensure that everyone has the opportunity to explore a broad range of human experiences. Through the virtual reality experience, in collaboration with many different entities, the goal is to engage, educate, and empower the public to stand against book bans and promote access to challenge restricted or banned books.
Looking inside the VR space, the Freedom to Read VR space is an environment that is both informative as well as interactive. It is divided into 5 major spaces. The first space, which you can see on the poster, is where users will spawn into the community engagement environment. This was created to assist librarians, educators, parents, as well as students in mobilizing and advocating against censorship. In this space are interactive panels from the United Against Book Bans, the American Library Association, Little Free Library, as well as the Brooklyn Library and Books Unbanned that link to resources, information, and media. The second space is a democratic values environment that aims to preserve open discourse and the free exchange of ideas in society. This space contains an interactive voting pledge booth where users can take the Freedom to Read pledge from the Unite Against Book Bans, as well as the ALA maps that highlight book bans across the US, as well as the Library Bill of Rights poster. The third space is the cultural representation environment that focuses on protecting works that reflect diverse experiences, especially for marginalized groups. This space contains interactive book resumes from Unite Against Book Bans that detail each title's significance and educational value that are easy to share with administrators, book review committees, elected officials, and board members. The fourth space is the educational equity environment that ensures all students have access to a wide range of literature and perspectives. This space contains a 3D rotating library card where users can click and are then directed to the Boston Public Library's Book Unbanned card registration. There are also additional books displayed that play book resumes from Unite Against Book Bans. The fifth and final space is the intellectual freedom environment that promotes the right to access diverse ideas and information without censorship. This space contains a timeline of significant events in the history of intellectual freedom and book bannings. There's also an interactive seat where users can sit and watch videos related to book bannings.
The benefits of this VR space include promoting intellectual freedom, which is the rights of library users to read, seek information, and speak freely as guaranteed by the First Amendment. This is especially important at this moment in time as libraries and freedom of expression are under attack by our current administration. This VR space also includes calls to action and ways for attendees to advocate for intellectual freedom and against censorship and book bans. Lastly, it highlights the Books Unbanned initiative, in which participating libraries are offering virtual services to teens and young adults. Teens and young adults are able to receive a library card and check out ebooks of challenged and banned books. The Freedom to Read VR space invites us to engage in advocacy efforts against book banning and censorship while also providing access to challenged, restricted, or banned books. The purpose of the Freedom VR space is to educate and empower communities to challenge censorship and promote intellectual freedom.
Thank you.
Well, thanks to all of our interns for sharing the 3 projects that encompasses the XR Voices and the winners of the Silver Anthem Award. I'd like to kind of wrap things up with kind of letting you know what the future holds and bringing Dr. Chow back up on the screen to kind of let you know kind of where we're going with our lab here. So, Dr. Chow.
Thank you. Again, thanks to all the students. Really wonderful presentations. It's a great time to be in library and information science. It's a great time to be in the information space as technology continues to empower us to do more, create new experiences and new situations. So AI, of course, is first and foremost. One of the things that we would like and will do sooner than later is to have AI empowered conversational agents, including Native American elders, being able to mine in real time recordings of elders or other people and being able to use those in a conversational way. So that certainly is coming shortly. We also want to leverage AI to, again, mine our existing FAQs and other data sources that can take some of the load off of our student advisors and also empower students to be able to find answers to their questions independently as well. AI agents, AI mentors, and anyway, it's pretty much unlimited. AI is also related to our robots, but not completely. So expanding our robot fleet, I just saw or heard about Yamaha having robotic horses now. I mean, believe it or not, and essentially will be the new ATV. So the bottom line is we intend on expanding our robots as well. So we have two that you heard about, but there are a lot of other spaces we want to get into. And certainly, again, the Tesla bot and other bots that are Gen AI will continue to be things that we will explore. And of course, for both of those, the educational opportunities and supporting librarians, not replacing them, but supporting librarians as assistants are definitely things that we want to do. And the other thing I really would like to get my hands on, Alfredo, is the germ bot. And I don't think that's the name, but Robot Labs has a robot that all it does is zaps germs, and so I need to see that one, and I think that's going to be a huge hit in the library world. So, really quickly, as far as XR virtual reality, again, we're going to push the envelope there, including exploring AR. And the company I work with already has AR agents that are conversational as well that can answer questions. Cross-campus collaborations, we are right, Alfredo, your schedule and calendar gets busier and busier over time. And finally, we have two big conferences where the LTI Lab will be there to provide hands-on experiences to attendees. So,
Thank you, Dr. Chow. Thanks for everyone who's watching live and watching the recordings and this end of our three-part series for the lab, but not the end of series. So please keep posted kind of with what the lab is up to on Instagram, Facebook, because we are now, as we mentioned earlier, taking the show on the road. So we may be at a library or a conference near you. So don't be a stranger. Please feel free to reach out to us via email if you're ever local and want to kind of visit the lab or collaborate with us on projects. Here's QR code so you could scan and get the slide deck, as well as I included, as I mentioned, the QR code for our pop-up application, so you can give that a try. Again, thanks to Dr. Chow, Kelly Rausch, all of our interns for a great presentation, for a great internship semester, and again, continued success. And you are all part of the lab, so you are always welcome back. So again, thanks for everything. Dr. Chow, I'll let you close it out, and then we'll have a good night.
well, I was just going to say, what a great way to end your experience, right? To be able to share all that you've done, and it always is humbling to look back at all the things that we have accomplished together. So again, I want to thank everybody for believing in the vision, being part of the vision, helping us move the field forward, and really helping people and humanity. So again, thanks for all that you guys have done. Again, I can't thank Alfredo enough, who probably didn't mention it, but he won a Staff Excellence Award as voted on by the students. And obviously well deserved. And Kelly Rausch will be joining us as a faculty member over our bachelor's in information science data analytics. So we do some good things here, and I'm grateful for everyone. So thank you.
Good night, everyone.
All right, good night.